Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Gun Gals Live. Tonight, we're going to be discussing getting rid of extra bills and cutting the home budget. But first, we want to welcome our panel guest. Well, I'm not going to say our guest, our panel. We're going to welcome our panel, our Gun Gals. Yes. We're going to start with Stacey.
Hello, how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm good. It was my Friday. Yay. Oops. Let me undo her. And how about you, Jessie? How are you tonight?
I am doing good. Just trying to put some of my clutter away. How is everybody? I'm so glad that today was your Friday.
I know, right? Let me tell you, it was a crazy Friday, though. Crazy, crazy, crazy. If they called one emergency, I know they called four. So that's not including the people that they brought down. So it was a crazy Friday. I'm so glad it's over. Anyway, um, we want to jump on in. We want to send a shout out to our Patreon supporters. If you didn't know, Gun Gals has a Patreon. You can check us out over on patreon.com. I want to say it's /Gun Gals. The link is below the video, so you can find it there. Our Patreon supporters include Ghost Tactical, Tina is Liberty Cat, Angry Haycutter, Clover Tack. Our level 2 supporters include Georgia Trucker and the Real Gun Snob. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you so much for being wonderful supporters of ours in what we're doing here. So with that being said, we want to go ahead and jump on in. We're going to start talking about different ways to get rid of extra bills and cutting the home budget, if you didn't know that already. So I'm just going to kind of throw this out to both of you ladies. What are some things that y'all have done or that you're in the process of doing before we start going through this list? It doesn't matter. Who wants to jump in first? Go for it.
I know for me, it's kind of watching, like I heat my house with, pellets, so keeping the lights off and little stuff like that, there's not too much I really do to try and cut it. We do try and, cut down on some stuff like, our TV. We might, we went from one company to another because it was cheaper. And I'm about to even cut some of those channels out because no one ever watches it. So for me, it's just little things.
Mm-hmm. Well, little things add up, and my husband and I were talking about that earlier. It's pretty amazing if you think about it. Those little things each month, how much those add up. So, what about you, Jessie?
For me, we are feeding 6, sometimes 7 people a night. So for us to be able to cut costs on stuff instead of shopping at Walmart all the time, we shop at places like Aldi or I don't know, there's one place, it's kind of like a small little restaurant supplier. And we buy a lot of the vegetables and meats and stuff there just because you can get more for your buck than going and buying like 2 or 4 things at Walmart. Whereas you can just buy a big, huge slab of pork loin or something and chop it into pork chops or.
Mm-hmm. So kind of like the buying in bulk type thing.
Yes, especially when it comes to like hamburger meat and stuff, because we can go buy a huge like 10-pound roll instead of going to Walmart and buying the 1 or 2 pound little portions. which it ends up saving us a lot more money buying in bulk than buying just what we need for that night.
Right. That makes sense. We've done similar things like that too. Um, our bill cutting is a little different now that it's just two of us versus when there were five of us. So, I've got a list and we're going to kind of work through them, and we'll be able to jump in. Everybody will be able to. And if you guys have some tips or some things that y'all have done out there in the chat that have helped cut your monthly bills, your spending budget, whatever, and you want to share them, definitely do that. I think most of us, if you think about it, who doesn't want that extra spending money? You say, "Ooh, I really want that," and then you're like, "Oh, but that's so expensive." But you think about where all of your money goes. So if you're able to cut down here and there, you're actually able to keep that money in your pocket, and then you're able to get other things that you really want. I see where Ghost says they cut satellite last month. We did that. What, Clover? We did that 4, 5, 6 years ago. It's been a little while for us. We actually cut ours a long time ago. And we were laughing earlier because anytime we go out, like we went to Tulsa, when we were in the hotel that night, we cut on the same stuff. We cut on Nick at Night. It's old stuff. It's things that you don't even need to have cable TV for. So anyway, so let's jump on in and we'll get started. Some of these are going to be funny for us. Some of them won't necessarily apply, but some of them may apply to you guys out there. One, it talks about using public transportation. I know there are places that have, like for us, Tyler is close to us, that or a big place that's going to have like a city bus route or something like that. And there are a lot of people that use it, but it's more for a city type place. I know Jessie and her husband have both driven for Uber before. In our area, it's kind of a running joke, what Uber is, because there's not going to be an Uber where we are. So, y'all got anything to say? Just jump on in.
I know how you feel about the no Uber thing, because here in the boonies, we ain't got no Uber. I'm just going to throw that out there. There ain't no Uber in the boonies.
Yeah, there's nothing. But, be it Uber, and Uber is kind of expensive, but public transportation, oh, my bad. I know Uber is not public transportation, and it can be expensive, but even riding a bus, getting a bus pass and going and riding a bus, there are bus routes, but you have to know those bus routes. I know. And you have to make sure you get on the right bus. And if you're going to buy groceries, is a bus really what you want to do? And I guess for people that live in the city, going to the store every day is probably not a big deal. But the fact that we live in the country, going to the store every day is kind of stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is, especially when you live in the boonies, because one way trip to the store is 15 plus miles.
The only buses y'all have are yellow buses. I like that.
We could get a couple horses, get one of those covered wagons. You save money on gas. Might take you a little while. You save a little money.
I like the way you think.
Would be kind of cool too.
And Clovertack, just so you know, we don't hitchhike nowhere. If I don't know you, ain't getting in with you. In this day and age, that is just not something. I just can't be that person. I will sit in a freezing car until I can get a hold of somebody before I jump in a car with somebody else. That just is not a happening.
I'm about that way with buses. I don't like buses. I remember, whenever I moved to Chicago and I was leaving, I was coming to Oklahoma. I took the bus, and from from Chicago to Oklahoma, and then and stuff, and been on the bus, quite a few other times, and I absolutely hate being around like a lot of those people on the buses. I mean, it just there's some characters on there, and yeah.
I took the bus one time to take the kids to downtown Dallas, and my daughter was just a couple months old, and I went with a friend. The bus was a lot easier than I had thought it would be, but there's a lot of stops, and then you got to make sure you get off and get onto the right bus to go to the other part, and it's just like, okay, that's a whole lot of work. It might have cost us $15 for parking and gas included. So after that one trip, I would have much rather drove anywhere and paid the parking fees just so I didn't have to deal with two kids on a bus going anywhere.
Yeah. Another one is carpooling to work. Where I'm at, I mean, I'm 12 minutes from work. That's a little redundant for me now, or a little ridiculous, excuse me, a little ridiculous for me. But there are people within my community that actually, they park just, a fourth of a mile from our house, and they actually commute together to work. So, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you work the same rotation or something like that, and you're able to carpool, my mother, when I was growing up, my mother and a lady, they carpooled back and forth to work, and it saved them money and wear and tear on vehicles. So, I don't know if that's something that y'all have ever done or familiar with.
I have done that. Before I got with my husband and stuff, when I was dispatching for Mercy and stuff, me and my best friend Amber was both working there, and we worked the same shifts, so we had the same days off, same everything. We both lived in Claremore, so 1 week we would take my car, and then the next week we would take hers, and we did that up until she got switched to a different shift, but and then we had different days off and different days on, but we did that for the longest time, and it was pretty nice because not only did you have someone you can sit there and talk to on the ride, but it saved a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle and time and money. So yeah, I have done that.
Cool. I have not, but with my line of work and stuff, I actually like my alone drive time. I mean, I can turn the radio up as loud as I want. My husband hates my country music, but when it's just me, I can turn it up. I can sing as loud as I want. I can get in the zone. And I'm one of those that the louder the music on the way to work, the more awesome it is. I'm gearing up. It's like getting pumped. I mean, it's almost like Rocky, you're just gearing up for work. And then on the way home, I'm more of a mellower, more of a soothing type thing, kind of chilling out before I get home. I like my drive time by myself.
But in the morning, you are a morning person.
I really am. I could wake up to Eye of the Tiger and I'd be, oh, this is awesome. I am that person. But yes.
Not me. I literally
I'm not.
Crawl out of bed, and I look like, death pretty much, and body aches and sore, and
not happy until I get that first cup of coffee.
Usually it's my energy drink, but and then get the kids up and get them ready for school, and spend at least an hour waking my husband up, because he is by far the hardest person to wake up in my house. He's a morning person.
You really got to get one of those things that will flip him out of bed. Nothing says wake up like your butt landing on the floor.
You just want to get one of those things that slaps him in the face constantly.
Okay.
That would be funny.
With that being said, let's move into this one, because this is going to be an interesting one. It says, drop your bad and or expensive habits. which could be drinking, smoking, that expensive coffee cup, or expensive cup of coffee that you like. So,
Ooh, okay.
go for it. Go for it.
Instead of buying the K-Cups, because that's what our coffee pot is, they're really awesome. But I can go just buy the big can of coffee and get the refillable K-Cup. And that's what I use because it saves money and I get more cups than if I just go buy the pack of K-Cups, because I think there's like 48 and it's like $15. Or I can go buy the big can and that gives me way more than 48 cups. And it's only like $8, maybe 6. I don't know. But that's how I do my coffee.
And I don't drink coffee. I mean, I drink energy drinks. But before, when I was drinking, a Red Bull, which Red Bull's expensive. And then I found the Quick Strike, which is, similar to it. And I can get 2 of those cans. I mean, literally 2 16-ounce cans for $2. But, for me, cutting out too much wouldn't really save me money, because I would probably need bail money, and I probably need lawyer fees and court costs, and my husband would probably be a little bruised and sore. So it probably cost me more money in the long run.
Yeah, we actually did cut out energy drinks, and I'm really surprised that everybody is still surviving. But we drink a whole lot more coffee now than we were when we were drinking energy drinks.
So what about smoking? Because I mean, I know that the price of this went up, and so the tax on this went up. So this is
my gosh,
this is not a cheap habit to have.
It's really not, because one of my packs is a little over $7, where we started smoking the tobacco and pipes. And so we can get a bag of tobacco. Well, actually, mine are the cans. Colt, Blood Red Moon, and Cherry Bomb are my favorites. And I can get those, and those last me a lot longer than one pack of cigarettes.
Nice. And Stacey?
Yeah, no, I was just trying to. I was thinking it was muted, and I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and they've gone up here from what they used to be, but at the same time, it's like it's so much stress. It's like so hard to quit, So, but it's something we need to probably try again. But same time, it's like it's one of those difficult things, because it's so difficult.
It really is.
I mean, you get stressed and you get used to certain things, and stuff, and with me being home all the time and not working, I'm hoping to get back into working. It might, help having a steady job, especially if you can't, do it on the premises and stuff. So, but yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things. But yeah, and like I said, I mean, they've really gone up. I mean, and stuff, and apparently they're just going to keep eventually going up. So, but yeah.
We quit smoking in the house a long time ago. But when we moved to the freaking cold state, that's kind of helping us slow down on smoking, because we have to go outside to do it, and it's so freaking cold that you sit there and you just shiver, and you're like, is the smoke really worth it? Nope. I'll try later.
Yeah, we don't smoke I don't smoke in the house either.
I miss having a garage. I can tell you that. The garage was awesome in Texas. It's cold. You just put a space heater.
I would just like to have a garage to put my cars and maybe some extra storage. But yeah.
Well, I can say that First of all, we don't live close to a Starbucks. And at 5:30 in the morning, Sonic is not open. McDonald's is not open. And even if I were to buy them, I can't take them into work. I have smoked before. What is really sad is that I would smoke at work, but then I couldn't remember to smoke later. So I would buy a package of cigarettes to have myself. And a month later, I would find it because I just can't remember to smoke, which is not a bad thing at all. So, but now my husband smokes, and my husband will continue to smoke. He will never give that habit up because we are going to continue to stay married. And in order for us to do that, he's got to have his nicotine. It's got to happen. So, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But he did go, when we first got married, he was doing Marlboros, and then he went to the Swisher Sweets, which, oh my God, they smell ridiculously awful. They are so gross. They're
Oh, no. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Hold on. I did that wrong. No. They have the Swisher Sweet little cigarette packs.
Mm-hmm.
And Troy was smoking the grape. I don't know. It smells so good when he lights that. And I was like, oh, what are those? Those actually smell really good. Other ones, not so much. But the grape ones, those smell pretty awesome.
I don't know. Cigars are horrible. I mean, which I've smelled them before, but when we went to NRA and stuff, and we went to some cigar place, because some of the YouTubers and other places were going over there, and so we went over there, and the second you walk in, you're supposed to have these vented rooms and stuff, but man, it was thick, and kind of like, man, I really don't like cigars. Even the smell of them, those are a lot worse.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next one. And these are ones that we don't really do, or haven't had to do. So if y'all know something about them, y'all can totally jump in. It talks about you can refinance your home or auto, which, I mean, we've not had to do that. I personally am a very advocate of I'd rather buy a used car, and I'd rather go ahead and pay for it if at all possible, because I'm all about having a vehicle that's paid for.
I'm the same way. I don't think we've had a car payment in quite a while. And, when I first got with my husband and stuff, he had some, $500 a month truck payment and stuff. So once we got out of that, got it paid off, and all that, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing any more $500 payments. Nope.
Yeah, we haven't refinanced anything.
Our problem is going to be
pay it off fast.
Yeah, our problem is our kids are going to all be turning 16 within, a year of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, which luckily, I mean, their grandpa's a mechanic, always has, cars, and always gets cars for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so that cost is going to be going up because we'll have to be getting vehicles and car insurance. And so,
well,
yeah.
Right. And, that is a big deal too, making sure that you shop around and get the right auto insurance. And don't get me wrong, I realize that there are auto insurances out there that you could probably pay $20 a month for,
liability only or whatever.
But what exactly is their coverage? What exactly do they cover? What exactly are you paying for $20? I pay way more than that, but I also pay for 3 vehicles. But I know what my coverage is. I know if something happens, even with our liability only, because we actually have 3 vehicles, including our daughter that's still in school, but they're all paid for, and so, but we have uninsured motorists, we have all kinds of stuff. What we did opt for though is a higher deductible too, though, should something. So I mean, we may have to come a little bit out of pocket, but it dropped our monthly down so drastically that even if I have to pay a deductible out of pocket for something, it works out.
Yeah, so we pay on 3 right now, and we have full coverage on 2 of them and liability on 1. But ours still runs a little higher because we still had, Kent's had a few fender benders, minor ones. I literally rolled my SUV, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, they're starting to go down from there. The wait time and stuff, like it's already went down, like, as it started over another $50, it's went down. So, it's starting to get past them, but we did have, a few of those.
Another one is consolidate your student loans. I have to tell you, I'm still paying for mine.
I don't have any student loans.
However, while I'm saying I'm still paying for mine, I have a daughter that's going to graduate in May, and then she's going to go to she's actually going to finish. What am I thinking? She's going to finish her 5-year schooling in 4 years, and we're not going to be out a single dime. She's not going to have any student loans or anything when she's said and done. And yet, I will be still paying for my student loans. And yes, I have consolidated them. But I've also put them off several times. So, have you had to do anything like that, Stacey?
No. I mean, I've only had one student loan, but it was, low amount. So no. Right now it's just paying off a few credit cards. I mean, for the most part. So trying to get them down, not use them, and getting their balances down.
Mm-hmm. That being said, then, any of you out there, if you've got kids that are coming up with college coming close by, get out there and look. You can Google it to help them to where they don't have the student loan debt like what I've got. Get out there and find them. There are scholarships out there. Get them. I mean, they can apply for every single scholarship out there. The worst they're going to do is be denied. And it just took them a little bit of time. So, seriously, great thing to do. Moving on. Let's see. I know the whole LED light bulb is a big deal, right? Everybody, that was like a really big deal when they switched to the LED light bulb. We hated them. We wanted our regular light bulbs back, right?
Yeah.
But I could tell a difference in our bill. I mean, I am that person.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I changed mics.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't even think you can even buy the regular ones anymore. I mean, they're a little higher to get them.
Mm-hmm.
We caught them on sale for quite a while and kind of stocked up on them when they were pretty cheap.
When they were clearancing them everywhere?
Yeah, I think it was right when they well, it was right. I mean, not the old ones; they were the new ones, the LED ones. But they had for a while there, when they first started, Walmart had them pretty low. But and stuff. But my dog is being a nuisance. And stuff. But I mean, I would probably notice more of a difference if not everybody in this household left every light in the house on.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have to walk behind them and go and turn them off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then my husband's building lights usually on and everything else. But
Motion
yeah, I like
sensor
them. They
light.
last longer.
The motion sensor switches actually will probably help save you a little bit of money. If there's no movement, it turns off.
It probably would in certain places, but I have dogs too, and it'd probably pick them up, like in the house, in the main parts of the house, in my room.
Well, I mean, are they like really tall dogs, or are they like medium to small size dogs?
About medium.
Just
but
put it up higher on the wall, like where a normal light switch would be.
Yeah, the main thing, like my husband will come in there, he'll get in the closet and get stuff out to go to work. Well, he leaves that light on. He'll go in the bathroom. We have 2 lights in our bathroom. We have the one that's, up on the ceiling and the 3, right above the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
He'll leave both of them on. Plus, usually the main light and sometimes even the lamp by his bed. Yeah, he's horrible about leaving lights on. He just leaves them all on, just,
Clover, are you and Snob related at all? Because he goes through stages where he'll turn every light out, but I promise you it's few and far between, because if he's focused on his task and he gets that way for hours and hours and hours upon end, every light he passes will be on. And I'm walking through the house, turning everything off. And I'm like, it's just the 2 of us. There's only 2 of us here. How many lights do we need? Dude, use the light on your cell phone.
Well, that's like, my husband and the oldest daughter. It'd be daylight. There's enough, natural, lights from everything else in the kitchen. Like, if you want to sit down and eat your food, it doesn't matter if it's, middle of the day and, plenty of light. They still have to turn on that big chandelier above the table so they can see their food. I mean, I can see my food in the dark, and I wear glasses.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see their food. They have better eyesight than I do without glasses.
Wow. Let's see. Another one is to lower the temperature on your water heater. I think most of us are kind of aware of that. Doesn't mean I want to do it. Just saying. It's 30 degrees here right now. The hotter my water is, the better I like it. Because it cools off pretty quick.
Yeah. We have, whenever we put ours in, we, because it's back behind, like it's actually like behind a sheetrock and stuff. We just have to and stuff. But whenever we put it in, we adjust it where we want and stuff. So, we have that pretty much set. Whenever we get our new house eventually done, I'm doing away with it and doing a tankless.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because then we wouldn't never run out of hot water. That's our problem now. We have, 6 of us here.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody wants to take a shower in the same night, you got to kind of give some time in between that, because it doesn't matter what size tank you have. When you have, multiple people wanting to take showers,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still want a tankless. I would do a tankless now if I could.
Yeah.
Well, we used to set a timer. Like, our kids got so much time in the shower because I had 2 girls and a boy. But either way, I mean, they all would stay in there for, I swear I had fish. That's what I had. I had fish. They all love water. They would stay in there forever. So, especially on school nights and stuff, we would have to set a timer. So they would be like, okay, get out. In order for everybody to be able to get theirs and stuff. So,
yeah, ours isn't too bad. One of them likes to rather take a bath than take a shower. And stuff. So she'll be on there a little bit longer. She's like me. You look in that bathtub and your skin looks like it's going to melt off because every part of your skin is hot. I mean, it's red.
Yeah, I look like a lobster because I want the temperature so hot that it could, melt anything, including me.
Yeah, my husband hates it. He's like, this water's too hot.
No, it's just right. I'm boiling today's stress away. That's how hot my bath water needs to be.
Yeah, I'm all for getting a hot tub, and I'm like, if you can't handle, a hot bath or a hot shower, I said, how are you going to handle a hot tub? It doesn't need to be that hot. Really?
Oh. Another one is to cancel club memberships. Expenses like going to the gym. I mean, to me, that's one of those you have to really stop and think. We say, the first of the year is coming, by the way, and everybody's going to be like, oh, I got to go to the gym. Oh, that's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, whatever. I'm going to join the gym. And then you sign on for this contract, or even you do this monthly thing, and then they're taking it out of your checking account. And then the next thing you know, here it is June or July, and the last time you went was February the 2nd. How much money have you you've just let them suck this money out of your checking account, and you've done squat. So.
Yeah, there's this gym that they put in Chelsea that I've been planning on going over there and checking it out, because I think it's not going to be like, you have to sign a contract. It's month by month, but they give you an access card, so you can go in there anytime throughout the 24 hours. Mm-hmm. And stuff. So it's one of those things that, you go for a while, and, if you went just for anybody, if they went for, a month or two and then they just quit going, well, they can cancel it. It's not like it's, not going to pay for it.
But you still have to remember to cancel it.
Yeah. Well, with it being here in town, it'd be, fairly easy and fairly that. Plus, I think they had which I don't do tanning, but they also have tanning and maybe some other stuff, but I don't do tanning because it's so much worse on your skin than anything. So I've never done, the tanning beds. And
I used to be a fake maker.
Yeah, well, I got, on my shoulder. I had this little marker on my shoulder, and it was round and, about the size of a quarter, and I'd been there for a year, and finally went to go see on it, and it was a type of skin cancer, but it wasn't the bad kind. It was just, just from the sun. They could cut it out, remove it, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff in my shoulder. So anytime I go out in the sun, I got to wear sunscreen and stuff. And that was one of the questions, they asked, which I always knew that. Mm-hmm. But, tanning beds are a lot worse on you than going to the actual, just being out in the sun.
Yeah, because you're getting what would take somebody 4 to 8 hours. You're getting that in 15 minutes.
Yeah, my sister is horrible about doing it. She would be.
There's a reason why they only let you go once in 24 hours, because you can literally cook your insides.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that when I was young and dumb. I've
never done it. And before, it was just I didn't really care enough about them. And as you get older, you hear about all the dangers of them. And it's really, you usually pay quite a bit to tan. And why would I pay a bit if I wanted to go tan? I go lay out in my front yard, go to the lake.
Yeah, and
I can go tan for free.
You have to majorly moisturize your skin, otherwise it starts feeling like leather. And people don't actually talk about all the downsides to it. But yeah, I don't pay for a membership. We have 12 acres that I can go walk on, and it has a trail. And if I want to get motivation, I'll wear a hat that has a fishing pole line on it that's out in front of me, just out of reach, and I'll put a cupcake on it. Walk trying to catch the cupcake.
I've seen Facebook posts on them doing that with animals and even people and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And wine, oh my gosh, they have these push-ups and stuff where girls have their wine glasses, and when they go down, they get to drink the wine, and then they have to push back up. I totally exercise like that, but I just like drinking wine. I do it the lazy way. What I could probably do it the fancy, let's get fit and toned while we drink wine today. Who knows? I might make that a YouTube video.
All right. Our next one. Reducing or eliminating your cable bill, which we kind of talked about that one because we did that a long time ago. What about y'all?
We quit paying for cable. We have Amazon Prime. We don't have Netflix anymore or Hulu or any of that, but we've got like the Kodi app and Amazon, so there's not really much that we can't watch from our phones.
Okay.
But cable's just so dang expensive.
Oh, it is. It is.
It
totally.
is.
And there's a whole bunch of commercials. Who needs? Why would I pay a company to just send me a bunch of commercials talking about food and stuff when I'm hungry? Of course, I'm watching TV at 2:00 in the morning. Why make me even more hungry? That's why I gain weight, people, because I watch something. I'm like, dang it, I'm hungry now. I got to stay away from the TV because a lot of the stuff that they show is not keto friendly.
Of course not. Well, one of the other things it talks about is to avoid having multiple things like if you have Hulu, I don't know if I said that right, but Netflix and Amazon Prime, do you really need all three of these?
Okay, so for people who like to watch the shows now and not wait, I could see why they would have Hulu, or I don't know how to say that actually, but I call it Hulu and
Works for me.
Netflix. Netflix, it will have this season's shows, but it's months later. Amazon, I mean, you can buy the channel subscription for certain stuff, but I don't know. It seems a little excessive, I guess. I don't know. To each their own.
True. Well, and my husband and I were talking about this earlier, and it's something that we didn't really dawn on, didn't really dawn on us. But we are the people that we have his and her accounts. I have my money, he has his money. We've been this way for a long time. We got married when we were really young. Money was a big deal. We used to fight over it. Then he started his business and stuff, and then he needed his business accounts anyway. And so it was just easier for us that we had everything separate. Well, without thinking about it or realizing it, we both had Amazon Prime. We were both paying monthly payments for Amazon Prime. He had his, I had mine. Everything is being shipped to the same address. How ridiculous is this? I mean, yeah. Seriously. How stupid are we? Both of us. Being so stubborn and independent individuals that we have to do our own thing. And, this is my money. I'm going to spend it the way I want. If there's something I want, I get online and I find it, I order it. Well, just a little bit of communication and we could have been doing it together. So
communication is key, y'all. That is what we're saying. You got to have communication. It saves you money.
In the long run, it will save you a lot of money. Just saying. A lot of money.
Yeah, so. I know with us, my husband has Amazon Prime, so, I knew he had it and stuff, but, sometimes I think it's better if, and I have for us not to have his and her accounts. I think I need to take over the accounts and give him an allowance sometimes.
Oh, I feel you there.
Especially, I have to watch him pawn shops because we're out Christmas shopping and he's over there trying to buy a gun. Well, he put one on layaway anyways. But I'm like, we're supposed to be shopping for your kids. It's Christmas, not for ourselves.
That's funny.
But a pawn shop is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So, and we've been to quite a bit of them because, we're looking for, a certain, over and under. And so we've been to quite a few of them, a lot more than we normally would, during Christmas season because, so we've been to a lot more, pawn shops and gun shops and everything else. But we did go to one that I hadn't been to, and I looked in there, but it's also got inside range. You can kind of see through and watch them there. So, I think we discussed maybe doing like a date night because I've never been to an indoor range. And
it's
stuff.
super
I
fun.
think, I think it'd be cool and go, rent a couple guns just to, try a few other ones out and see which ones, see if I still, prefer my shield, if I like another gun, because I really like my husband's Glock. And, I even like it better over my shield, but it's so big and I don't want to carry it.
Yeah.
So, and I love my shield. But, so I think we're planning on making maybe a little date night one time and go out there and go to the range, and I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I think so too. Would be very cool. All right. The next one, I don't even know if this is a thing. I don't know if they still publish these things or not, but it talks about you can cancel newspaper and magazine subscriptions. I just thought everything was on your phone or online.
Pretty much. And have you seen the, I mean, I don't know about the subscription, but even at, standing in line at the checkout, the price of those magazines
It's ridiculous.
I know they used to be like, I don't know, but now you like look at a magazine and it's like $10 or $13 or $15. I'm like, really? I don't even read magazines. But
Oh, yeah. They have like kids' school fundraisers that now do magazine subscriptions, and it's like, oh, you tricky little people.
snobs in there. Who has those these days? Your grandma.
Well, I mean, I actually get a few, but it's stuff that they sign me up for, and it is nothing that I pay for, I promise you, because I don't even open them. I'm like, okay, and I chunk it. I mean, because anything I want to see, I can pull up on my phone. So
yeah, his mom one time, I don't know, signed me up for some magazine subscription thing. I mean, she paid for it, but I'm like, I don't even read magazines. I don't really care for magazines. I'd rather just read a book compared to looking at a magazine. And stuff. But yeah, and I've done like gone to stage where, if you sign up for this, you can sign up and get free, so many, subscriptions and get like $10 off or something. And I did it a couple times. I always made sure I canceled it. And stuff because you get it free for like, I don't know, 3 months, 2 months or whatever. But I've got to the point now I'm like, I don't want them. Like, so I just got to the point I just start telling them no. Don't want to do it.
Well, this next one is going to raise a lot of eyes, I think. A lot of eyebrows. Reduce or eliminate your cell phone bill. And I actually wrote this on my little piece of paper. Negative ghostwriter. That is a negative.
Yeah, that's going to be a negative for me because apparently out in the boonies, you don't get really good reception. And so when you do get reception, you have to make sure that you are to the max on your data and everything else because I need to download as much as I can and I don't want to be waiting all day for it. So I need that 4G unlimited every month.
Which is actually what we turned around and upped ours to. It's been less than a year ago, about a year ago, I think. Was right around the time I want to say that my husband started doing his YouTube stuff. We went through and changed our plan to the unlimited, and we have AT&T, so. But we also still have two of our children on there, so.
Yeah, we have unlimited. But it gives you the option on each line, whether to do, 2 gigs, 6 gigs, unlimited, whatever. And I'm usually home on Wi-Fi, so I just did 6 gig on mine. But the kids and Kent and stuff have unlimited. But yeah, we pay a fortune a month. So yeah, if it was me, I mean, I wouldn't mind going back to the old ages where cell phones didn't exist sometimes. I mean, they're good most of the time, but at the same time, like I could literally go on a trip, I go on a long drive, and hardly touch my phone at all.
Oh my gosh! Like you actually have conversations in the cars?
Well, not with my husband, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I could literally sit there and just look out the window, look at the scenery. My husband couldn't. I swear that phone's attached to his hand. I'm pretty sure it's super glued there. So I know he couldn't. If I was to make him a bet that he couldn't touch his phone for 3 days, no, he couldn't do it.
I could totally win that bet.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. I mean, or switch him to like a flip phone and see if he can survive. Just phone calls and a few text messages, but and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's days that I could sit there, and there's days I've gone with him to work and forgotten my cell phone, left it at home, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, not a big deal, survive without it, and I do. So, most times when I'm home, I usually might look up, Facebook or look at YouTube or look at Instagram, but it's usually just briefly, and I'll go back to doing whatever else I was doing.
Well, I'm not going to say our cell phone bill is not that bad. I am going to say it is our biggest bill at the moment, but that being said, after we went to Tulsa in April and I had my little bitty iPhone 5, I came back and I upgraded to my iPhone 8, which I do not regret. So I am making payments on that within our bill. And our son actually pays us for his phone bill. So, I mean, technically it kind of evens out. And with that, I mean, once my phone is paid for, it won't be that bad. So I don't worry about that. I'm like, I've got to have it. I'm good with it. So, even with cutting our monthly bills, I was looking at our monthly bills earlier, and all of our bills up there, we've got one that'll eventually be paid off, and then one that I could totally get rid of, and I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else would be monthly stuff that we just can't get rid of. I mean, it's things that you actually have to have. I mean, our lights are, and I'm saying that, I mean, our phones, I'm not going to say that we absolutely have to have them, but, we've got our lights, our phone, our car insurance, stuff like that. But now I do my essential oils, which I'm not willing to give up. And so I do pay for that. And then we have a loan that we're paying for, which will eventually be paid off. So, I mean, we have cut ours down drastically, which I'm pretty proud of. So, we are 5 minutes till our hour, but we still have one really big topic that we've not covered with this that I think we could talk a little bit about. I don't believe Midnight. I do believe that he is not having his show tonight.
No, he's not having it.
So, if there's no objections, we'll just run a little over if y'all are okay with that.
That's okay with me.
Okay.
It's either talk to you guys or talk to my husband. I choose you guys.
Me too.
I'm not necessarily going to say that, but I've also been at work all day, and so I'm still on my hype. So, yeah, I haven't crashed yet. So, we're gonna ride this until it expires.
Huh, I'm standing at my back door, and I could hear that air compressor running. That it's on more than it's off.
Talking about wasting money, cutting costs. Need to cut those costs, snob.
I can hear the air compressor.
Might want to go check on something in there.
Talking about credit cards. We learned early on that credit cards are not meant for us. And so that is something that my husband and I got rid of, and we do not have credit cards at all. I have my debit card that goes directly to my checking account, but that's all I've got. We do not do do credit cards at all. They tend to have high interest rates, and unless you plan on paying them off, you make a payment and then you turn around and just immediately pay that. That's just an accident waiting to happen. That's been my experience.
Ours too. We are currently paying off credit cards from learning the hard way that they're not as great as we thought they would be.
Yeah, you tend to get overwhelmed with them. You think, oh well, you don't have enough cash, but you can use that, and then before you know it, it's maxed out, and you're like, how'd that happen?
Yeah. Well, even before it gets maxed out, it's okay. Well, I can pay this, and I'll pay on it, but then you start looking at how much your payments are, and you're going to be paying. If you pay the minimum, you're going to be paying on it for 4 years for a purchase that was $120. So it's that sucks. Let's just pay that off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to be waiting around 4 years to drop a payment off my list.
I know one of the things that my husband was saying earlier, him handling in cash actually has been better for him here lately. Having your debit card, you don't think about it, and I guess I get to be that way sometimes myself. Hang on, Stacey. You're doing some vibrating stuff going on there.
Oh,
it stopped.
Is that better?
Yeah.
This is stupid mic. I mean, you can hear me better, but at the same time, it's does that sometimes.
Yeah. There. Hang on. Let me. I'm just gonna. There we go. Maybe. Anyway. We were talking earlier though, and my goodness, I lost my train of thought there.
Dealing with cash.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dealing with cash. Good gravy. There it went. Dealing with cash though. Dealing with cash, you're more apt to know exactly how much money you have on you before you actually go in. You already say, okay, this is all I can spend. This is what I got. Going in with my debit card though, it's no big deal. I mean, I go over here. Okay, I get my gas. I don't even look to see how much it is necessarily. I just say, okay, I've got to fill my car up. Just fill it up. I don't. If my husband is with me, I mean, he's usually in the passenger seat and he'll get out and fill it up. And I don't always even ask how much it is. I mean, it's just like, okay, just fill it up. And, I move on to the next thing I've got to do. I buy my groceries. Okay. I kind of look and I know how much money I've got, but it's not the big purchases that add up. It's the little ones that you're not thinking about. It's the stopping here at Sonic. It's the stopping here to get gas. It's the running in and grabbing this, the running here and just grabbing this one little item. Those are the things that add up and they get away from you without realizing what you have spent. But when you're dealing with cash, you're like, okay, this is what I've got. This is all I've got. This is what I'm going to deal with.
Yeah, cash doesn't work for me because I have 3 teenagers. And they always say, well, you know, if you have a few dollars, I need a few dollars. And this and that. And if you don't have it, you're like, oh, well, sorry, I don't have any cash. You told me when I was at the store. So turns out to be a lot simpler not to have a lot of cash.
And I get that. I mean, I'm 12 minutes. I'm 12 minutes from the house, 12 miles, 15 minutes from the house. Not a big deal. I mean, I don't really tend to keep a lot of money on me anyway, and it's rare that I keep cash in mine. Just here lately, because I've actually been selling some stuff, but outside of that, I don't keep cash. Even to leave a tip when we go out to eat or something, I just don't keep cash. I just have to write it on the on their on my little receipt. I mean, I just have to write their tip on that. So I'm really bad like that. Anyway.
I like that idea, though, because then you don't spend more than what you have on you.
Right.
Well, then you haven't met my husband, because it wouldn't matter, because even if he didn't have enough cash, he'd be like, oh, I have a card. So it wouldn't matter to him, because he would still have the card.
But see, that sounds like the kids. You know, do you remember when the kids were little and they'd be like, honey, I don't have any money. But Mama,
but you got
have
a card.
Check. Well, back then my kids would be like, but you got a checkbook, Mama. You got a check. Just write a check, Mama.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do that too. But like, well, you can have money in that thing. You know, not be like, you know, a balance of like $1 or something.
Oh, it's really bad that my son has figured out that mommy's money is on the card.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sits there and he's like, can I have your card today? And I'm like, no, why do you need my card? Because I want to go to the store and buy me some stuff. No, that's mommy's card. But you got money on your card. Yeah, mommy does have money on her card because mommy needs to pay bills. But like you can do that and buy me some stuff.
That's like our oldest.
No.
She's like, you know, she'll be 16 in August. And she's like, well, you know, you wouldn't have to go to town as much. You know, send me to the store with your debit card. I'm like, yes, but then I'm sending you with a list and you only get what's on that list. Not anything else.
You know what, though? One of the things, when my youngest daughter is home, I absolutely love her being home because I can make out my grocery list and send my debit card with her and her buy my grocery list. She doesn't pick up any impulse items. She doesn't buy anything extra. She doesn't walk through and add anything to my buggy. I love it.
Yeah. See, the oldest, she would. But she's also the shopper. She shops till she drops if she could, which is why, you know, she goes with his mom a lot because his mom shops a lot. And I think that's all she done all this weekend. They went to the mall last night. They spent all day in Owasso shopping, and I don't like to shop at all. And my second oldest, she's the same way. Like once she goes in there and gets what she wants or whatever, which half the time when I got, like today, I went to Walmart. I picked her up from my mom's. I went to Walmart. She stays in the car. I'll leave the car on for her, and she'll just stay in the car because she'd rather stay in there. But she'd be the one that I could say, okay, take the card, go to the store, get this, you know, have her list, and she'd probably get just what was on that list. And if she was to want to get anything, she would call me and say, Mom, can I get this? So
your husband's out there saying something about me calling it a buggy. Anyway.
It is a buggy.
It is a buggy.
He's in here. He was at the back door, and he was in here commenting on, he called it a buggy.
It is a buggy. Okay, it's a buggy. Anyway, moving on. That being said, just the opposite though. my daughter is with me and I'm out shopping or my husband is out shopping, she will tend, and not as much now that she has that she lives on her own and she works 2 jobs. She doesn't do it as much now, but when she was a little younger, she would, we'd be grocery shopping and I'd be sticking to my list, but you'd see extra little things inside my cart and you'd be like, where'd this come from? Why is this in here? Who put cookie dough in here?
Yeah,
Who put this gallon jar of pickles in here?
But I can't say too much about it, because I remember going shopping with my mom, and she literally would not see me, and things be, we'll put everything on the conveyor belt, and she'll be watching and stuff, and then she'll see certain items, and she kind of looks over at me like, what'd you do? I mean, I've done that to my mom, so I can't say too much about it.
Yeah.
But I usually notice whenever they do. It's very rare that I don't notice that they do it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like even the oldest, I mean, when we had, because they have iPhones, or they had their iPods at the time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to have a credit card on them and stuff. So anytime they wanted to get a song and stuff, they were always really good about, can I get this song, which is usually only like $1 something or 99 cents or whatever, but they were always good about asking before they just turn around and do it.
Now, when my kids were smaller, yes, they would ask. But now as it got to where, there's 3 years difference between our youngest and our middle. So, we had that 3 years where it was just her at the house. And so things kind of shifted a little more. And I mean, she kind of got a little more bold with what she would do too. Be like, and she would just, yes, cookie dough and pickles. Yes, they would be in there. So,
see, mine was cookie dough and Oreos.
Well, she would do those too, but they had to be double stuffed. I mean, you couldn't just get the regular ones.
I was a regular Oreo kind of girl, but cookie dough, that's my jam right there.
Oh, and Twix. If you found Twix in the buggy, yes, they were. Yes, that was the thing. She's all about some chocolate. So one of the other ones that is here, it talks about, and I don't like this. It says downgrade your health insurance. I don't like this term. I don't like the way it's used here. Maybe because I'm medical. I don't like it. I say evaluate and reevaluate your family's needs and do your insurance, because like we have to redo our insurance once a year. And when you do it, reevaluate it and do what your family needs. For instance, for us, dental, I'm throwing my husband's business out there, but I don't pay for dental for my husband. I don't need to, but I pay a higher bracket for our dental because the dentist that we like, that has done such a super job, especially with our youngest, with because she's got a veneer, she's got a $1,500 tooth in the front of her mouth. I have to pay that little higher stuff for us to be able to go and see him, and I'm okay with that. Vision. My husband, to my knowledge, we've been together 24 and a half years. And my husband we were talking about this earlier, has never been to the eye doctor. Never.
Yeah, see, what's life insurance? I mean, what's insurance anyways? Life insurance or health insurance? We don't have none of that.
Well, on our vision, all of my kids wear glasses, and so do I, or I wear contacts. And so I pay the more expensive premium for that.
Yeah, see, when I went and got my glasses and stuff, I just went and paid cash for it. I need to go back if I wouldn't mind trying contacts. And his 3, with their mom and stuff, are
with the, able to do the Indian hospital, so they get free medical at like Indian clinics and Indian hospital. So they automatically have it no matter what.
One of the other things is knowing what your insurance really is, because like we have it's Express Scripts, where we can have our prescriptions mailed to us for a 3-month supply, or we can get them at the local pharmacy. One of the things is doing your homework, though, knowing which one is cheaper. Because like I have 3 different medicines that I take. One's for blood pressure, I take one for my back, and I take one for migraines. Well, my blood pressure medicine is like so much cheaper through the local pharmacy. I mean, it's crazy how much cheaper it is through the local pharmacy. But my other 2 are so much cheaper to get them through the mail. It's just knowing that the difference in that, and just the fact of how much money I could save in that. I mean, it's like $50, if not a little more, for 3 months worth of medicine where I could save on that. So that's pretty awesome. So
that is really cool.
So know your insurance and know what's out there, and do your research on that. One of the other things that we talk about, one of the biggest things that we spend money on in your family, in every family, is going to be your food. So, how do y'all shop when y'all shop food wise?
For me, it depends on what it is. Meat, I buy in bulk just because we can freeze a lot of it. Vegetables and stuff, I buy enough for the week, but we're about to start using a vacuum sealer to use certain vegetables. I just try to make sure it's going to last me at least 2 weeks.
Yeah. And see, a lot of our stuff.
We got a girl that's going to have to show us how to do some other saving stuff. Sorry. Be right back.
Yeah.
What did you have, Stacey?
Well, I was going to say like Snob said in the chat, we get meat from, our cattle and stuff. Mm-hmm. And stuff. So that saved us a bunch, because we don't ever buy any type of red meat at a supermarket. We talked about before about, we got it all set up, and all you have to do is build a fence for it. But we talked before about getting a couple pigs and, raising them for, food. But, we do a lot of that stuff with, having the land and the cattle and stuff and the animals. But, usually the rest of it's just, odds and ends stuff. We get canned goods and all that stuff we would, get at the store.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One of the things, cook and make your own meals at home, cook and pack your own meals. I take my own food to work. I don't go out and buy my lunch every day or anything like that. Try to avoid eating out as much. We attempt to go out at least once a week for us, with our schedules and stuff. That's about what we can get together for us to just get away from the house together and to actually just have that alone time. So we just make a point to have that. Using coupons. Coupons is a big deal. If you've got coupons, definitely use them. Don't be afraid to be at the counter at checkout and pull out those coupons. Seriously, they save money. One of the things that I do when I buy certain things, I didn't do it quite as much when my kids were home, and that's because there were 5 of us. Most of our stuff didn't last. The kids go through spurts where they may eat very little, and then the next thing you know, they're eating you out of house and home. So it kind of goes back and forth. I'm going to turn my camera on though. This is just going to be kind of an example of something that I do. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen where I do dry canning. I also, if I make a big meal, I make extra, or I make a meal specifically so that I can freeze it. We've done this with several different things here at our house. Chris and I eat very differently. So for us to make something and put it in the freezer, and for him to for either one of us actually to eat on it, and it's just the 2 of us, we can still have a really great homemade, home cooked meal that is full of flavor. Didn't cost us an arm and a leg. We didn't have to go out or anything. And we know exactly how it was made and all that. So the other thing that I do, like I said, is dry canning. And let me see. Okay. So my lighting might not be very good, but on my desk right here, you can see that I've got some little jars. I've got some Fruit Loops. I've got some little whales. Here I've got some cheese nips. And then in these, I've got some cereal. This particular cereal is this Nutter Butter cereal. This is a 19-ounce box that, with a coupon, I got it for $1. Okay, so, which is pretty awesome. What I did here, these are half-pint jars. I was able to fill 15 of these half-pint jars. I have grandbabies, and I don't eat this, and Chris doesn't eat this, but the grandbabies eat it. So what we do is I can take these and dry can these, and the kids can eat on these. If I had the kids every day for a week, this made 15 jars. I mean, that's a little over a week's worth of snacks for the girls. So, which is pretty awesome. So that's 7 days worth of snacks for $1. And dry canning is so easy. All I did with these I haven't done. I actually just did these to kind of show y'all how much was in this box over here. These, however, these are sealed. These actually came off of my shelf. And I actually showed the ladies earlier my others that I have in there. You set the oven on 200 degrees. Let it preheat. You take the lids off. Just let it be the jar. Have your dry ingredient in there. I put mine on a cookie sheet. I stick it in the oven for an hour. When it comes out, make sure your lids and your rims, or your lids and your rings, are clean. I take a wet cloth and I just go around the rim of my jars just to make sure that they're clean. I put my lid and my ring back on, and I sit them over on the counter. And as these cool, these will pop because it will suck out that air, that extra air. And this right here, where it's doing this, once it's sealed, you can see in this one, it will not. These have been sealed. In fact, I pick up the grandbabies. I pick up the middle one from school, and I usually take her one this size of cereal and a drink, and that's her after school snack, and she's perfectly fine with that. So that's a simple money saving tip that works for us. It may not work for everybody, but I do that. I can do that with chips, especially corn chips, tortilla chips. We do it with Fritos, especially those kinds of things that I use in casseroles and stuff when I cook. Cereal, I do croutons because I don't do croutons on salad, but my husband does. And so croutons is something that I put in jars and keep, because otherwise I've just wasted a bunch of money. Regular saltine crackers is something that I will dry can. I won't dry can them in a small one like this. I dry can them in a bigger one, simply because he may eat a half a package or so, and then it may sit in there, and then we've thrown it away. So eventually we've thrown a half a box of crackers away. And to me, it sounds so ridiculous, but if you think about doing that constantly, that's a lot of money that we've just thrown away. So y'all can jump in.
Okay, I got the majority of that, but I was changing mics again because I had one then plugged in that I can't plug my phone in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to switch back. But, on a lot of the canning stuff, I have limited space. Like, mm-hmm. I don't have, a pantry. I don't have a lot of cabinet space. So that would be, a lot of, and like you said, when you had, 5 of you in the house, I have 6 of us. Mm-hmm. Usually a bag of chips don't last more than, 5, 6, 7 hours if they know where it's at. So it'd probably be, for me, pointless right now because they would find it anyways, but I really don't, plus the added thing that I really don't have the space for them. Mm-hmm. So, especially with 6 of us in the house and, not having, a nice big kitchen. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, they probably finish it off before I even had a chance to, even if I did can it, they would probably, all the jars would be throughout the house. So.
Well, one of my husband's favorite snacks is actually Cheerios, regular Honey Nut Cheerios. Did I say Honey Nut? I'm sorry. His are the regular Cheerios, I believe, the plain ones. And so I can his in little jars like that, and they're perfect for him, and that'll be a snack for him. For us, it just works. These don't work for everyone. It's just something that works for us.
I do love it, though, because my kids aren't big enough yet that they can go through a whole bag of chips or Cheez-Its or, stuff like that. So with doing the dry canning, it wouldn't go bad as fast. I wouldn't be having to spread it out over different containers that have the airtight lid, and then it still has to be used within like the next few days. If they don't eat a lot of it, they could sit there and it would last for the next time they feel like eating that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to try that. That's really awesome.
One of the other things you can do, stay away from convenience stores as far as saving money. Convenience stores are so jacked up on prices and stuff, ridiculously. So, wait for sales. I know we were talking earlier, and sometimes, oh, I gotta have it. That impulse buy, or that thing that you think you have to have it right now. Like, there's something I want or I need, and I've got to have it right now. Even though you may not use it for another week, you think, oh, I'm gonna have to have it. I need it now. I can't wait. Just waiting and doing your research and doing some shopping around, shop comparison. Shop comparison, it's big. And something that I encourage y'all to do is, while your kids are little, when you take them to the grocery store, shop compare with them. Be looking at those, yes, jar of pickles, because that is like my daughter's thing, okay? So look at the different brands, even though, this is her favorite brand. But sometimes when you look at something, the price difference, it may be worth trying this one if you've never tried it before. If it's a little bit cheaper, just give it a try and see if it's not worth, saving that little bit of money, because it could be off brands. Going to Aldi, I know that they have off brands, but believe it or not, most of their off brands are actually the same as the label brands.
I love shopping at Aldi.
I do too. So does my husband. Oh, forgive me, my throat's getting dry.
I would more, but the closest Aldi's we have is in Owasso, which it's still, before Tulsa, but usually, I'm going to either, Veneta or Claremore, which is, within, 15 to 25 minutes of me compared to, it being like 45 minutes away. So, yeah, that's the closest one I have.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we were looking at when we were moving here is, oh my gosh, our Aldi is maybe 10 minutes away. How are we going to do our shopping? Where are we going to go? And it's about 15 miles where we're at right now. So,
oh my goodness, poor both of y'all.
It's not too far, but I'm definitely going to save some money.
Our closest is about 50 miles or so from us.
50?
Yes. When I tell y'all we live in the sticks, we live in the sticks. Do you hear me?
So when you go to Aldi, it's like we're going here and shopping for the month because I ain't coming back for something we need next 2 days.
No, this is what's going to happen. When I say, hey, honey, you want to go to Aldi? He's going to say, yeah, can we go eat Mexican food?
I wish we had a Mexican food place that was good.
So, anyway.
I just looked it up to see exactly how far it was. And so it's saying about 35, 40 miles.
Yep.
Well, see, I'm the spoiled one because mine's only 15 miles away.
And she calls herself living in the sticks. Whatever.
Sorry.
Whatever. Anyway. Something else to consider. Buying refillable bottles. Like, instead of buying cases of water, go for water bottles that you can refill. Us personally, we live in the country and they put a lot of chemicals in our stuff. So, we have a Brita filter. So it either runs through the Brita filter or it runs through the filter on the refrigerator in order for us to drink water that is not come from a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
The downside to that, though, is like when I go to work, I have to have, if I take water to work, which I have to take something to work to drink. So I have to buy bottles that are clear. You have to be able to see through them. So I can't use cans or anything like that. And they can't be more than, I want to say, 33-ounce bottle, which is a pretty good size bottle. But they have to be sealed. So I can't use refillable water bottles for work. So, it is what it is.
Those are some stern rules.
It is, but it's for our safety, and so I get it. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Something else that we were talking about earlier, and I know these may sound silly to some of y'all. I get it. I really do. But it's just my husband and I now, right? And so when we go out to eat, we went and had McDonald's the other night. Yes, I did keto on McDonald's, or keto eating McDonald's. I had a quarter pounder with cheese, no bun, and then I had like a little side salad and stuff. So it was great. But what he does, whatever he orders, he always orders like 1 to 2 chicken sandwiches. They're off the dollar menu, and sticks them in the fridge when we get home. And there he's got 1 to 2 meals for later on, and they were $1 a piece. Because even if we go to Walmart, we cannot buy the Tyson chicken patties and then buy buns, and it come out to be $1. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Nope, we've tried that. That don't work quite as well. And then you got to buy lettuce.
Well, yeah. Well, my husband is a plain and dry person, so he needs chicken and bun. Yeah, I know. So for $1, I mean, he eats chicken and bun. That's what it is. So
that's not a McDonald's chicken sandwich.
We can do it.
Lettuce
we can do it. We can do it. What my husband suggested earlier. Just feed the kids every other day.
You let us know how that goes.
Yeah, my kids would. I gotta deal with them. I don't. They're already fussy sometimes. I don't want to deal with them super fussy because they're only eating every other day.
I can yeah, true. There's more kids. I can probably just feed my husband every other day.
Now, something else that you can do if you are part of a program type thing, go ahead and sign up for their customer rewards. And something that we do here, we do Pizza Hut. Yes, because I eat the toppings and not the crust. Yeah, I know it's really sad, but it's so good. But after my husband will order it and I'll pick it up on the way home from work. Well, after so much, we get a free pizza. So the other night we got 2 pizzas and he only had to pay for 1. I mean, it's something that we're going to do and eat anyway. So why not take advantage of that rewards off of it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love their reward things on there. Now they added breadsticks on there, didn't you? It was just pizza. Now they got breadsticks on there too. But yeah, I really like their rewards.
Mm-hmm. A couple of other places that we personally take advantage of reward stuff with is Office Depot. My husband did a lot of stuff there when he had his shop, and so he used the rewards points to buy the kids their school supplies. And he would use those rewards to buy that child her expensive mechanical pencils that she loved that I refused to pay for. Because I can't do it.
Yeah, all of our kids love mechanical pencils.
Yeah, but she had to have this specific one that's more expensive than the regular ones when I can catch the regular ones like super cheap. Yeah. I've got that one child.
They don't really have a preference on what kind it is, as long as it's that. But I don't see the point in mechanical pencil. I guess I push too heavy, and I cannot write with them things without it breaking every time.
That's me.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Another one of my husband's places that he likes to go and use the rewards thing is with Harbor Freight. So that's not one I take advantage of, but that is definitely one that he does. So you can get a lot of neat little free stuff with that. They do their little coupons as being part of their reward stuff that you can get free stuff all the time. So, something else that you can do your own repairs. I know it may sound a little silly to some, but our washer and dryer, I mean, we are just ridiculous on washer and dryers. And it kind of happened by accident, but my husband repaired one of our washers. Was it our washer? Was our dryer? Either way, he repaired one of them. And I mean, finding out he could do that, I mean, it saved us a lot of time and a lot of money because we weren't waiting. Even when it was under warranty, they it took them 2 weeks to come out and look at it, and then it took them another 2 weeks to get the part in, and then when the part finally would come in, they would schedule us another, 2 to 4 weeks out before they'd come and fix it. By then, you're 2 months without your washer or your dryer. And then one of two things for me. I'm either taking it down to my in-laws, which is taxing all on its own, or I'm driving to the laundromat, which, by the way, I live in the country. Did I not tell you all that? I live in the country. So I have to drive into town to go to the laundromat. So, yeah. Doing repairs on your own is a really big deal. If you're trying to save money, and I didn't know this is a deal because I guess I'm just too cheap to do this. If you have like someone come in and clean your house, or someone come and cut your lawn, cutting those out is a good way to save money. Do it yourself. If you have children, make them do it.
It's called free help.
Yes, it is.
Chores are good for children.
They really are. They absolutely are.
Well, that's the good thing about, my husband, is because he can pretty much fix most anything. And if he can't fix it, it probably can't be fixed. Because, he, it doesn't matter what it is. He can usually fix anything. He does, a lot of times he'll do our oil changes a lot of the times. He does our tune-ups. He does, anything that goes wrong with the car. And, he works on, homes and, construction and stuff. So there's nothing in our house that he can't do. So, that's at least one good reason to keep him around, is that he can do just about anything.
I'm a big fan of Google and YouTube. If there's something I don't know how to fix, one of those two deals will tell me and show me how to fix it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Lawnmowers, washing machines, dryers, dishwashers. It's had to be fixed at some point.
Yeah, well, we ended up having, about a couple of years ago, go buy a brand new washer and dryer because ours went out. It couldn't be fixed, and then we decided we were going to look on Craigslist, and so we went, and it was just mainly the washer. So we went and picked one up, and of course we got home. It didn't work, and of course the guy wouldn't answer me back, and all this other stuff, and so we lost money out on that. So we decided we were just going to go buy a brand new one. But probably like the first, brand new one I've ever had. But, for like a month there, I was going all the way into Claremore, which is, 30 miles, to go all the way into Claremore to go to the laundromat. When you got 6 of us, that's a lot of stuff you're carrying out to the car. Take it to the laundromat, take it in there, get it done, get it folded, and bring it all back. Yeah. It was horrible.
I'm just laughing because Rob D out there, growing up poor will teach you a lot. That is no lie. That is definitely no lie, I'm telling you.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my mom never had a washer and dryer. And I remember going with her. A lot of the times I would go with her to the laundromat and, play in the laundromat and hang out in the laundromat. And, once a week we were at the laundromat. So, yeah, we never had a washer and dryer.
Well,
we didn't even have a dishwasher.
Well, we didn't. Well, we did. My parents had 4 kids. They were the dishwasher.
Yeah. But, my mom, when I was like, I don't know, a teenager, we moved into this duplex or townhouses, and it actually had an actual dishwasher, and they used it for storage. It never got used. It wasn't until, I think after my mom moved to Oklahoma, that she finally, I think she started using it in California, but she finally started using one when it was just her and my dad. But yeah, for the longest time in that townhouse, she just kept an extra, dishes in there, and it was just storage.
We're going to segue into our next one here too. Reduce your grooming expense, and this is your personal grooming expense. We're talking about hair cutting and coloring and nails and such like that. Those are ways to cut back because most of those that we choose to do are not necessities.
I cut back from going to the nail salon, and I buy mine at Walmart for like $5 to $7. And I bleach and dye my own hair. And I shave the back of my hair.
Yeah, see, I just have my nails. I go and do my nails about every 2 to 3 weeks, and stuff. But I really don't do much of anything else. I don't really color my hair. If I do it myself, and stuff. And I buy, what I need to on makeup. I don't put a lot on. I usually just put the basic stuff on, and I don't use it very often. So makeup will usually last me quite a few years because I rarely use it. If we're gonna go somewhere nice or I'm gonna be around other people and stuff, I'll put it on. But I very rarely ever use it. My nails is probably the biggest thing.
Well, if you haven't figured it out, I can be a little bit cheap. So, I actually cut my own hair, or I get my oldest daughter, to help me with it because my hair is basic. It's all long. It's the same length basically. So it's just basically a trim more than anything. And I've done that for years now. I used to color mine, but the upkeep on it, because I have some gray in the front of my hair, and gray is harder to keep colored, and I don't want to look like that person who everybody's constantly looking at thinking, hey, she needs to go finish it. She needs to go redye her hair. Hey, she needs to go fix her hair. I don't want to be that person. So I quit coloring mine several years ago. But in my younger days, I would even frost mine myself. I'm talking pulling it through the cap and everything. I would do it that way. Even my husband, who, if you can find a good barber that does a really good shave, he says there's nothing better. But one of the things that we've done, and we've done it with our son for years, is to get a really good pair, or a professional grade pair of clippers. It's an investment, but if you think about how much money we have saved over the years, doing, clipping his hair. That's just, it seems like it's something simple, but it's just something that we've done. It's worked for us. Makeup. I don't wear makeup to work. I haven't been wearing makeup on my off days. My makeup, there's a little bit of money into my makeup, but again, it's a special brand that doesn't break my face out or anything. So, my nails are Walmart nails, but my husband will tell you this, and it is no lie. Anytime I have my nails done, we can go out, and at least one place while we're out, someone is going to talk about how beautiful my nails are. And my husband's gotten to where he just tells them, you can do that really cheap. You can get those at Walmart. He just totally ruins it for me. Are you serious?
Do that.
So
they do it. That's what they do.
That's funny.
But anyway, I think we've covered everything except for childcare. It talks about, one of the things is cutting cost on childcare. Um, I'm one of those. Childcare is a little iffy there. I'm not fixing to tell anybody how to how to save money on childcare or anything. Finding someone you trust as far as childcare is a big deal. So I say that is definitely, no matter what, an individual thing, and it needs to be done as such. So I know my grandbabies, during the week, they go between me. I get them one day a week because I work, and then the other grandmother, she gets them 2 to 3 days, and then my mother-in-law gets them one. So I mean, they kind of get passed around a little bit, but they're always with family. So I know not everybody's as fortunate enough to have that. My kids actually went to daycare when they were little. We had some private sitters for a little while, but things changed, and so they actually ended up in childcare.
Yeah, mine, before I got with my husband and stuff, my daughter and stuff, she, stayed with my mom and my sister because, I worked EMS. So I went to work on a Monday morning. I didn't get home till, Wednesday morning. So I was gone for 48 hours straight. And then when I started dispatch, I was working, it was supposed to start part-time and it being full-time. But, I was fortunate enough to have, my family and stuff. And then when I got, with my husband and stuff, we, I think his grandma watched Aubrey because Aubrey was only 8 months old when we got together. So, but whenever I had back surgery and stuff, that's one of the main reasons why we decided I would stay home and take care of the kids because they were younger then. So, but yeah, I was fortunate. I don't really like daycares. I don't trust daycares. So I was happy not to have to use one.
Yeah, I've worked in daycare, so I did not want my kids to be in daycare.
I get that, but I'm going to tell y'all that my kids being in daycare, they were in daycare with grandma and great grandma. So
yeah, that makes a big, difference.
Yeah,
it really does.
If you going somewhere where you have people that you trust, but I didn't have that, and there was always so many stories on daycares and stuff. But so like I said, I was fortunate, because at the time, my sister and I lived together, and my mom lived with us, and so we were all in the same house, anyways. Mm-hmm. So my sister worked, and I worked, and stuff. So my mom would be home. So yeah, she would take her, and when I worked, the PD, I worked for a small police department. So when I worked 4 to midnight, there was a lot of shifts where I took her with me, and she was an excellent. I mean, she was such a good child then, but because she was 2, 3 years old. And she knew that if I was on the radio or if I was on the phone, she had to be quiet. She'd sit there and draw, or she watch a movie or whatever. And so she was, for a toddler to be, knowing to be quiet. But I took her with me a lot just because I got to see her. I was gone so much working. So, but, all the officers there loved her. They take her out to patrol cars and stuff. So tease her all the time and stuff. So, but yeah. So I mean, I did that on those ones because not because she couldn't stay home with my mom, but because I got to spend time with her.
All right, I'm going to throw this out here because he's mentioned it more than once in this chat. So, Patriot in the Dark is saying it's kind of sad that the gun gals are not represented in the blind challenge. And he's also saying that the hashtag blind challenge is over in 15 minutes. Unless you're a hashtag gun gal, then you can have an extra day. So just throwing that out there for you ladies over there, for Jessie and Stacey.
It just so happens that my husband is off work tomorrow. So I will have to probably do some convincing on if he will let me do the hashtag blind challenge on one of our guns. But I think I might be able to do a video. He doesn't want it like nice and neat though, right? Because I don't have nice and neat videos when I'm looking at the gun. It ain't gonna be nice and neat putting it back without looking at it.
Well, considering that I'm never taking a gun apart or anything like that, so I don't foresee it being a gun per se. I mean, I could find something, you know, maybe something that's, you know, I can do a video on that I can do.
It's got to be a gun.
Does it have to be a gun?
You got to be a BB gun? You got a court gun?
Well, if it's got to be a gun, then I don't know. I don't know. I've never taken one apart. Can
it be a Nintendo gun?
I don't know that I could take one of those apart.
It's just a bunch of screws in it, isn't it?
You've got to do it with a blind challenge, though. It's a blind challenge.
I know.
Okay.
Does it have to be taking it apart?
Okay, so my husband.
Yes.
Are you sure? Because I'm sure I can convince my husband to go out to our little range thing, and maybe I could try. You know, he can help me. He can help guide me to trying to shoot.
Sorry, Clever Tech just made me laugh.
Oh, you did see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can't crochet, so I'm out on that one too.
I can't either. I can't do that at all.
But see, okay, so I've not really had a day off, okay? I either have a grandbaby, I'm at work, or what we call my off day, I'm actually crocheting. Because believe it or not, my crocheting right now is what's paying for SHOT Show, or our part of our SHOT Show. I mean, I even took another order today. I mean, I promise you, if I have downtime, I've pretty much got a needle and a crochet needle or a hook and yarn and just going at it. So that's just been my thing here lately. But it's because I have orders going out and I've got to get them done. So I don't really have days off. It's so sad. I know. Not really, because, hey, it's getting done when I need to get done. So
there you go.
I'm all about it. All right. So, y'all all muted up. We have.
Sorry, I was moving stuff.
Oh, we have successfully come to the end of 2 hours, and we have talked. Well, I feel like I've talked nonstop. I guess all that caffeine I've had today has really helped me out. So, sorry, I've been in rare form today, and like I said, if y'all missed it, it's been a crazy day at work. I've had caffeine, and it's a lot of caffeine. So anyway,
how much more than usual?
Believe it or not, none. No more than usual, but I hadn't actually eaten today until I got home earlier. I had gone all day without food.
Yeah, no wonder you're
just caffeine. It's been that way all day, and it's anyway, so we want to make sure that we tell y'all thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us babble on for 2 hours tonight. thank you again to our Patreon supporters out there. Ghost Tactical, Tina is Liberty Cat, Angry Haycutter, Clover Tack, and our level 2s, Georgia Trucker, and The Real Gun Snob. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, be sure and go over there and check it out. We do actually have content that is for our Patreon supporters only. Check out our channel. We've got lots of stuff over there. It's been a little crazy, and I know we're not dropping quite as much as what we should be. Bear with us. It's going to get back into swing of things, and things are going to start going back to normal. So we promise that's coming. So join us next week. Same time, same place. We'll be here 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'm going to let the ladies carry it out.
Don't forget to check us out on Gunstreamer and gunchannels.com.
For sure. And forgive me, because if you don't know this by now or yet, I have a hard time being able to watch the chat and do the hosting at the same time. I will get there, I promise. Plus, I have a hard time talking and typing at the same time, because I'll be typing what I'm trying to talk. It will not be pretty. So just throwing that out there. Okay, go for it.
Who's going? Me?
Yeah,
You.
yeah. You, all you.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try and get some videos out. I got my concealed carry. So I have carried using purses, and I have carried on me. So I plan on, maybe doing some videos about that. And I have, some that I plan on getting out. And apparently now trying to figure out, a blind challenge one. So I guess watch for them, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, if I try a shooting one, hopefully I don't shoot anything I'm not supposed to.
Right.
4 rules to gun safety.
Definitely.
But I carried my gun. I carried my gun on me, and it was. I figured it'd be nerve-wracking. It really wasn't. It's gonna take some getting used to, though.
Definitely. My new Kydex holster came in, so I'm gonna get to wear it on me for the first time tomorrow. I mean, I'm super excited. Like, super excited. So, yeah.
I'm super excited for y'all to show your videos. That'll be awesome.
All right. Again, we want to make sure that we tell y'all thank you. If you haven't hit a thumbs up, be sure and do so. If you liked our video, be sure and like and subscribe. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. That way you get our notifications when we go live or when something's going on. If you want to drop us an email, anything that you would like to see, hear, think that would be a great topic or want changed, info@gun-gals.com. It'll go to all of us. It's a great way to get in touch with us. All right. We want to, again, thank you all, and we hope y'all have a great night. See y'all later. Bye.